What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mighty Mouse here, back with another video. I would like to personally apologize for my absence. I haven't really been giving you guys a lot of content lately. Been dealing with a lot, been sick, been kind of burnt out. Just all across the board, including with Path of Exile 2, which brings us to today's video. So, there's an upcoming patch that they announced. They didn't give us any specifics on when it's going to drop, but I think it may be the answer to some of my frustrations. I don't know. Maybe it's just the right answer to the wrong question, but we'll dive into it. Because for me, I've been kind of at a point where normal content doesn't really excite me, and I'm just kind of grinding, even if it's like juiced content, like nothing really hits that dopamine. So I've just basically been throwing caution to the wind and putting in absolutely any and every map I can find with double corruption, and most of the time it does nothing but make them far worse, takes away all the prefixes, makes them all suffixes, and I die 15 seconds into the map, and it's really frustrating. But I had to know, does harder map equal better loot? Or are you just making the game flat out hard for no reason? Because like many of you guys, I've I'm sure, there's two sides of defense I think people are sitting on. Get good, skill issue, blase blases, and holy fuck, this game is way too hard, chill out, bro. But I fall somewhere in the middle, where I think as long as you're not purposely trying to get yourself killed or doing content that you know full well you are not able to do, then the game is relatively easy. I wouldn't say it's like you can turn your brain off, which would be nice on some occasions. After, I just get home off a 12-hour shift. I would like to come home and have fun, not necessarily feel like I'm in a sauna sweating and I have like to have hawk-like focus, like, oh, I'm trying to take down some prey or something. You gotta keep watch for river hags at every turn because it's like an instant shit show when they show up and things of that nature. But I just, it kind of dawned on me with the announcement of this patch that maybe they are feeling, the developers that is, are feeling the same thing I'm feeling, and the only reason I'm feeling that way is because I'm doing all this shit and I'm dying to things and I'm not really getting anything out of it. So I think the is it too hard? Is the game too hard? Maybe not, but is it that it's just way too unforgiving? Like you you can't really craft. It's more or less gambling. And to anybody that says like, well, there's people that mirror craft. Well, yeah. When you go online, you swipe your credit card for 500 divines and at the beginning of the league, and then you can just buy every whittling omen on the market, and then you can just take a quad tab full of breach rings that you purchased, and you can roll them and then fracture all of those and try and get like nobody's doing that, man. Like there's like 10 legitimate people on the planet that are doing that without external forces helping them. No one is just getting lucky and getting a quad tab full of breach rings and all the hit it with a lightning essence, hit it with a greater essence of electricity. So like that alone is 100 exalt times 240 for a quad tab, let alone the however much a fracturing orb is, and then countless amounts of chaoses, which are like 18 of them is a divine. So you're spinning a divine every 18 chaos orbs. So there is absolutely no fucking way the average person that plays, I don't know, even a lot, even like 6 to 8 hours a day, the average person cannot craft like that and know with any greater discernment than whether or not they're going to get hit by a car if they're going to get a good item. That's just my take. But nevertheless, let's get into what they're addressing. The first thing is in-game rewards. And I mean, there's a pattern here, right? Just improving the baseline experience of everything. Like to give you those spike moments. That's like the center of this entire patch. They're going to be improving the drop rates of the incredibly unique, rare, unique items, as well as adding some more exciting chase items that are kind of like build defining, I would imagine, and reworking some of them that they thought didn't live up to their standards. They're going to be adding new craftables. They say the socketable crafting system, but I don't know that there is a real crafting system to it. You can like reforge 3 soul cores or like reforge runes into higher runes. But as I say, in the end game, none of that shit's interesting. It's all just like, here's some resist, here's some attributes, here's this. Early and mid game, beautiful. Love that shit. Late game, even though I myself, because I like to play much on a budget, I don't try to min-max to the gills because I like to have at least like 70 to 100 divine at any given time if I want to drop on something fun to make a video on or something like that. But nevertheless, cool changes. I'd like to see what they're going to come up with there. Maybe some Warcry shit, huh? With rituals, they're going to be increasing the rate at which you will find the super rare omens. Still going to have the same number of omens that you find inside of your rituals, but they will more often be the rare ones like whittling, dextral, alchemy, dextral annulment, sinistral annulment, things of that. The erasures, things like that. They said they're going to be increasing the rate at which you get a corrupted essence by 6 times. Now, when they say that the commonality of getting corrupted essences when using vow orbs on monsters trapped in essences by approximately 6 times, I vow every fucking essence. I have never seen one drop that was like, this is corrupted and does something else. So I don't know what they mean. If that means like it gives you a greater. I don't know what the corrupted essence is. I don't understand that. So maybe someone can enlighten me. With Rogue Exiles, they said the Rogue Exiles just didn't have enough uniques. So they're upping the frequency that Rogue Exiles will appear and thus drop uniques. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is that the gear that they drop is dog shit. That is what I think the issue is. Like, nobody wants to kill somebody that is another player that's doing fucking somersaults and backflips and shooting you and making and is incredibly hard to see and fight them for a minute sometimes in delirium maps because you just don't know where the fuck they are to get a ring that dropped corrupted with 2 mods on it. I had one drop with 5 mods, and oh man, I'm gonna maybe tag it in the video if I remember to when I get done editing this. And oh my god, if it had the 6th mod on it, it would have been incredibly good. But it didn't. I think I might have sold it, but I'm not sure. With the Twisted Domain, they thought the boss was pretty valuable, but the rest of the area is kind of empty in comparison. Sometimes they said you wouldn't even get rare monsters at all, which I don't think I've ever ran into that. But basically, they're going to be upping the rarity and quantity on all the monsters so that at the end, because all of your drops come from, I believe, the rares that you kill and the clasped hands that you open, and then it drops all that at the end. So they're going to be upping the rarity and quantity on those, thus more rewards, more dopamine. Expedition logbooks, they're going to basically just improve everything because they said it felt like you were getting less monsters than you would even in an expedition in a map. because you don't have the prefixes and your atlas and everything affecting it like it does a waystone. But and it looks like they're going to be improving a bunch of things. Like Lush Isle, it was intended to provide a very good source of experience, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Frigid Bluff is an icy tundra with vow architecture, and I guess they're gonna just make some corrupted shit in there, which is like more valuable than the here items have a chance to drop as corrupted, which is totally not valuable at all. Baron Atoll, they're gonna sea tra- sea travelers and fishermen have used to store their treasure and supplies. The area currently has crates filled with gold, strong boxes, and Ezomite rune. The crates drop far too little gold, and there are far too few strong boxes and runes. So basically, they're gonna up all that, drop new additional runes, give you an opportunity for the new chase runes that are going to drop, things of that nature. So everything will have a place. In-game content and variety improvements. They said right now that their focus is improving the variety because if you were somehow able to generate 400,000 maps, that 150,000 of them would be hidden grotto. And holy fuck, are they right? Oh my god, the amount of times I've ran that map, and now that they added the boss in that one, and it's like the same dude as the one in the abyss, and that fucking dude cannot be hit by a bunch of attacks. It's really hard to shield charge him when he's doing certain animations. You just kind of like rub off of him. So that's a huge L. So at least by changing that, you're going to get better variety. You're going to get different bosses, different flavor. It's not going to feel so repetitive. They're also going to be changing the citadels so that if a citadel is generated on the Atlas, the other two citadels will also be generated like near it. Because I tell you, I did like 9 iron citadels, and then I found like 5 copper citadels and 8 more iron citadels before I found a single stone citadel, which I failed because I was an idiot anyways. Man, it had like 36 rare mobs in it too. I put a juiced map in there. They are nerfing the purple balls of death, thank God, because about 50% of everybody's deaths around the globe come from those. They're lowering some of the more dangerous modifiers like elemental penetration and stuff like that. They're also improving the rewards and visibility of omens in the Viridian Wildwood, which is nice. I really like that map because it's a pretty good source of some of the less common omens. And basically doing all types of changes to all the end game mapping systems and unique maps and stuff like that, which is going to be good. They're changing Trial of Secumus, some of the things that are a little, I don't know, overtuned, like you have no energy shield, so Chaos Inoculation, get fucked. So that will help those guys. And basically changing some of the boons and stuff to make them more common because a certain boon was like just spawning all the time. And finally, like certain quality of life features, the main one I would say is being able to search for passives in your passive tree. You just kind of put it in the typing field and press enter, and it'll just kind of take you through every time you hit enter anything with that keyword search. So you can just kind of path that way. And it is going to brighten and darken everything a little bit more so it's a little easier to see and all that stuff. And various performance improvements, which thank God, because on PlayStation it's rough out here. Just saying. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My next video is going to be about a build I'm theorizing. I got a few more items to buy. I don't know if I want to drop the 50 divines on a Chernobog's pillar, but we're going to have to do it. and it's going to be an all shout build. We're going to try and min max shouts, mighty mouth, mighty shouts. That's what we've been running. So stay tuned for that. You already know what it is. You are enough. Stay blessed. And as always, stay mouthy, my friends. We'll see you on the next one.